microphone's dusty. It's almost as if I haven't used it in a while.
I know, like months. Oh my gosh. That's up, it's running.
It's going. All right.
The mutual sip of water. All right.
This is the, what's it called again?
Caravan of Courage?
Caravan of Courage.
Oh
that's
my
right.
gosh.
It's been a while.
Yeah, we've been 2 years stuck as Hulk, and now we just woke up and we're ready to do another podcast. Oh yeah, sorry, we're going to spoil everything.
Yeah.
Oh man.
2 years.
So we saw Thor Ragnarok last night. We didn't see it together. We saw it in different theaters.
Different theaters at the same. What showtime did you go to?
I went to 7:00.
Same.
So okay. So we saw Thor Ragnarok, and we're going to talk about it because we only talk about Marvel stuff because we're biased fanboys.
Right. I mean, it's not even. It's just gosh. We always plan to talk. We're always like, oh man, I saw, Spider-Man, Baby Driver. We need to talk about it.
Yeah, and then we're just like never do it. And we're like, well, we talked about Thor the last time we were on a podcast like months and months ago. So we decided to do that.
When the first trailer came out, the teaser.
Like, oh my gosh, like this is insane. So we're gonna talk about it. We're not gonna do like a spoiler free. We're just gonna go into the spoilers. Right?
I mean, if you want to set aside a little bit of time to talk about other stuff, like if we could speed review things.
Oh yeah. You want? Oh Jesus, I wasn't ready for this. So we want to go over what we've seen over the summer.
Okay, last thing we talked about was Guardians. It's out on Blu-ray now, by the way.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Blu-ray digital.
Cha-ching!
Redbox. Spider-Man's come out.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
It was really good.
Yeah, I
liked it.
I think it was good. I don't think it's as good as Spider-Man 2.
No, see, I gotta see it again.
You ever see Spider-Man 2?
Because I need to see. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Spider-Man 2 again. It was really good, but I need to see Homecoming again. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a quick run through. How'd you feel about the suit? I kind of disliked that it was like an Iron Man suit.
Oh, okay. So the one he has in the beginning of the film, like the Civil War Spider-Man suit. I liked it. I didn't really like the look of the suit that he got at the end of the movie.
Oh, like the
Infinity
Iron Spider
War suit.
The Iron, like the fake Iron Spider one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't enough gold. You needed more red and gold, right?
I wasn't a fan of the Iron Spider suit in the comics. The suit he has with the AI in it. I forget what it's called.
Yeah. Oh man, we're off to a great start.
Yeah, this is.
We're off to a great start, boys and girls.
Michael Keaton was good.
Oh yeah, we remembered his name. Yeah, he was awesome. Top 3 Marvel villains so far.
Easily. I mean, he's up there with Loki, Kingpin.
Oh, you counted Kingpin? Okay.
Ego. I don't remember my opinion of Ego. Like the last time we got together and talked like this, but I would put him in the top 5 too.
I've soured on Ego a little bit. I still hate this author.
It didn't age well.
You
hated the gold people. I forgot you were racist against the gold people.
Hey man, if they did a good job, I would have given them the credit. But they're playing asteroids.
I saw that in 4D theater.
Were you like shaking? Were you shaking along with it? Did you get sick?
No. I mean that was the second film I saw in 4D, and it was really good.
What?
But the first film I saw at 10:30 at night after working a 12-hour shift, getting up at like 5 in the morning, I saw the new Pirates film that came out this summer, and it's hard to like doze off from a movie you don't like.
Was that good? I didn't see it.
No. I mean, I didn't like it. I didn't really like the third one either, and I never saw the fourth one. But it's really hard to doze off from a movie you hate while you're getting splashed in the face of the water and rocked back and forth.
Oh my god! I don't think I would like that.
No, that wasn't.
I feel like maybe there's like shaking and all that stuff would give me a headache.
It didn't give me a headache, but I was freezing by the end of it.
Oh, tired. So much water, and the movie theater is already super cold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see Pirates. Didn't really see the need to it. It's weird that like Johnny Depp is now just portraying an over the top version of Captain Jack Sparrow in the first one.
Right.
Like, it's weird to think like when Captain Jack Sparrow first came out, it was like, holy god, this guy's like a revelation as this character, and now it's just like,
if you rewatch the first one, it's still so good. But then,
absolutely, the first Pirates is like a movie that has no like reason to be as good as it is.
Johnny Depp like hit his stride in like 2003.
Yeah,
it's like he's trekking up a mountain, and there's a certain level.
I was gonna say something so terrible. Thank God I held it back.
There's a certain level where I think he was like, he went too far. Obviously, I was like, okay, this is good acting, and like Secret Window too. You remember that movie?
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah.
And now he's gotten to the point where he's just a parody of all of it. Like he's gone too far.
Yeah, like his Mad Hatter. Did you see Fantastic Beasts?
Yes, I did.
All right, spoiler for Fantastic Beasts.
I mean, at this point, that movie came out like a year ago. So.
I know, man. Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, in the last 5 minutes of the movie, you find out that Colin Farrell was actually Heath Ledger and Johnny Depp the whole time. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually Johnny Depp the whole time.
How'd you feel about it?
He plays like, what is it, Dumbledore's evil brother?
Does he play Grindelwald?
Grindelwald.
Like the evil wizard? I'm sorry, I'm failing Harry Potter fans right now.
No, I hated that revelation because whenever I see...
Colin Farrell was awesome in that movie.
Oh, no, he was really... It should have just kept... They should do a second reveal in the second movie to make up for it and be like, just kidding, it was Colin Farrell.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Flashpoint.
I'm not cut up.
It's got Ezra Miller in it. Either. It's got Ezra Miller in it.
Oh, that's right. As the creepy... Did you like Fantastic Beasts?
I enjoyed so much of it that I have to say I liked the movie, but some things just really made me meh. Like, there was so much... It's like, oh man, these beasts are so awesome and cool. And it almost, it kind of gave me like prequel vibes where we had like, oh my gosh, we're going to go catch these awesome beasts. And every time you saw like the mystical creatures, the magical creatures, they were awesome. And then they were like talking about New York wizarding meetings about, oh man, we gotta, hunker down on magic and stuff like that. So it's like, oh man, we already seen so many Harry Potter movies about that. I didn't like Newt Scamander's kind of mumbling through everything.
He was like a wizard that was... He made me think of somebody that was like borderline on the spectrum. I don't know if that was specifically portrayed that way or like intentionally portrayed that way. Did you get that vibe?
No. Not really. I just get just a guy who's just so insecure that like the only time he's really comfortable is around his animals. That's how I sort of take it. I can see where you're coming from.
He just felt overly awkward. Maybe that was... Is that just the way that...
It's between that and the mumbling and... Like, there was I feel like there were some really important pieces of dialogue that I missed because he was mumbling. And which is sad because sometimes I mumble, so apologies if you can't understand what I'm saying.
I don't think that character is strong enough, like, to carry this franchise, like, to take over the Harry Potter role.
Plus, I didn't like the forced romantic interest. Tina, I think her name was.
I don't remember this movie.
Oh, I love it, dude. I love it. We just don't know anything about the movie.
I'm not a Harry Potter guy. So there were two girls, right? One that
yeah, and then American Luna.
Was that the other person's name?
Yeah, no, but she was just she was like really bubbly and outgoing and a little wacky. Right. I kind of just called her American Luna. In my review, I was just like, oh, nice American Luna. But yeah, but I do think there was a lot of good redeeming qualities about Fantastic Beasts. I don't know how they're going to make that many movies. If they can do it, more power to them. Make their money. They have a rabid fan base. The Harry Potter fan base is one of like the most passionate fan bases. I just think I do think the Harry Potter fan base is freaking phenomenal.
They should just kill off Johnny Depp or change his face again because I hated that so much.
Yeah, he kind of looked like over the top Johnny Depp too.
Yeah, no,
with the mustache and stuff. Does Johnny Depp like take you out of movies?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, especially with that, everybody in the theater laughed.
Also, it was kind of a weird time to reveal him because he was going through that big scandal. Just like, Johnny Depp.
Yeah. So something's happened to Hollywood since we last spoke.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, not something's happened, just something's been revealed.
Something.
All I can say is really these people that are coming up to it, whether they're male, female, or anything, talking about stuff, they're incredibly freaking brave. I can't imagine stuff that's happened to them, and they've just when you like reveal all that stuff, it's like there's nothing going to be but like backlash like a lot of the time. So it's just like you're really putting yourself out there because it's an event that you don't want to talk about with anyone. I just think that it was just a bubble that bursted, and I do think it's
and now it's all losing out.
Yeah, I think it's actually going to get crazier.
You think so?
Yeah. Like I think it may settle down for a little bit and then come back again. Like it'll inflate again, then pop.
Let's just hope that in like 50 years, when people are talking about Phase 17 of Marvel,
God.
that
Marvel fanboys.
Do you remember Thor 17? No, it'll be like a completely different Hollywood where like everything's a lot more transparent and not as icky. That's what
but Hollywood has always been a little sketchy sometimes. I don't really have much to say to that other than I think they're incredibly. Same thing when sort of, I don't know if it was like a response to it, like in a good way response when Facebook was doing that Me Too stuff. That stuff, like when they were like, oh, I've also been dealt with harassment and stuff like that, and I thought that was actually thought it was really good to see It wasn't good to see that many people post that it happened to meet them too, but it was very powerful, how everyone was supporting each other, and I think that's what those like the victims, I think that's what they need right now. And if you know anyone that does that, support them. Be yourself, be true to them, have their back.
Don't be on the wrong side of history.
Yep. Oh man, that's probably the sourest moment. That's probably the saddest thing we've talked about.
How do we bring ourselves back from this?
Besides you hating Rogue One, that's like you hating Rogue One.
Still hate Rogue One.
Is the second worst thing.
Somebody told me a couple days ago to rewatch it because I might like it. My girlfriend asked if I would buy it if I could find it for $5.
What if I rewatched it with you and I was just like, this is why it's great? Just like
that would make me hate it. I would probably hate it as right.
Dude, what if I would just keep your eyes like Clockwork Orange, like just keep your eyes open and you have to watch Rogue One?
Okay, what's your Rogue One then? What's a film that everybody likes that you dislike?
Oh god, film that everyone else likes that I dislike.
And then I'll try to convince you in 30 seconds to like it.
Let me see. I'm trying to think, and I don't want dead air because I hate dead air.
I mean, I can cut it out.
Oh yeah, dude, the power of editing. I never edit anything, so that's why I just keep talking. Yeah, but for movies that I like that no one else really seems to enjoy. Like,
let's see. Looking at my Blu-ray shelf, do you like Trainspotting?
I've only seen it once, but I actually I like Ewan McGregor a lot. I almost saw T2. Not Judgment Day, Trainspotting 2.
Trainspotting 2.
It's really weird that it was called T2.
Yeah. La La Land? You like La La Land?
Oh, La La Land.
What's your least favorite Pixar movie?
Oh, my least favorite Pixar? The Good Dinosaur.
It's not Cars 2? I've never seen Cars 2.
Because I haven't seen Cars 2. I saw The Good Dinosaur, and it was just like...
Did it make you think of like a Cormac McCarthy novel? Like...
Not so much. It just reminded me of just like... I don't know.
I felt like I was watching like a Western
cut
film.
Cut and paste, like... Oh man, we put all these things from, other things that you've loved. Sort of like, in a little bit of a way, Batman v Superman. How they just like cut and paste things you like from other things. Oh, even more so, Tom Cruise's The Mummy. Like,
I didn't see
oh
that.
my god, you want a classic.
Like me 5 years ago, I worked at a theater, so I could see movies whenever I wanted to for free.
I love Tom Cruise, so maybe it's a Tom Cruise movie that I like that no one else likes.
Oh, you liked The Mummy? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no, I don't like The Mummy. I don't mind. I like Matrix Reloaded. I think that one has some good moments, but then falls off a cliff at the end. Like I like almost all that movie until you get in that goddamn room with the creator or whatever.
Oh, the key.
The
architect.
Yeah, the architect. Oh my god, Jesus. I still remember to this day, like, Will Ferrell, like, spoofed it on MTV Movie Awards. And I understood that better, and he was just coming up with gibberish.
Like Sean William Scott and Justin Timberlake.
Yeah. So I guess I'm going to say that.
Fight Club?
Like, I don't know.
We'll come back. We'll come back to this.
In 3 months when we do another episode, I'll be like, I got one. I'll text you, like, in the middle of the
in 3 years. In 3 years, I'm going to do another episode.
3 more years on the Hulk.
This is going to be the episode we're recording right now was the Christmas special for 2018.
Oh my god. Christmas time.
So Infinity War was great.
Oh, no. Yeah. What else did we see? Baby Driver.
Baby Driver. This is in my top 5 this year.
Yep. Absolutely. So nice to see Edgar Wright have like an actual big success. He's always had like really good like critical success. All the critics like it. Very good cult following. But like Baby
Scott Pilgrim is like in one of my favorite films of all time.
Oh, absolutely. Scott Pilgrim is insanely good. But yeah, Baby Driver, just fantastic movie. With
I finally saw Get Out.
Oh, you saw Get Out? Cool. What'd you think?
That was amazing.
Yeah, it was so cool. Nice, interesting spin.
I read that, like the key scene, the twist at the end. I read that was going to be in the trailer, and Jordan Peele had to argue against that. Like, who would think that's a good idea?
I've seen some bad trailers.
Spoilers for Get Out. Well, I mean, I guess if I leave it out of context, it's not really a spoiler. Something keys, and then it's oh no, it's the twist moment.
That was a terrible spoiler.
Yeah, keys.
But yeah, I think Get Out was really cool. I liked. I think horror movies in the past couple years have been really good. I like Get Out. I liked It Follows. Did you see It Follows?
I did see It Follows. It's on Netflix.
I watched
it. I watched it like 3 months ago. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I need to watch it again. Yeah, It Follows was great. But yeah, I think it's been a pretty good year for movies. If Justice League is really good, is this the best year for comic book movies ever?
Other than 2008 had Iron Man.
And The Dark Knight.
And then the sleeper. I mean, it wasn't even a hit. Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. Didn't
have Hancock though. Doesn't that wear it down?
I mean, that was a superhero film. It wasn't really a comic book movie.
That's fair. Because I think because when I wrote down a list, it was like 2008, 2014, Guardians, and Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Yeah, that was the best up until I think this year.
Yeah, this year is, and it's not just like Marvel's doing good, DC's doing good, Sony did good. You know, because think about
Everyone loves a redemption story.
We had Logan. We had Logan for Fox. We had Spider-Man for Marvel, and now Thor for Marvel. Spoiler alert for when we talk about it later.
Why would you leave Guardians out? Did you not like?
Oh, I think Guardians hit. I think Guardians hit emotionally harder than any other Marvel movie.
Girl, that's fair.
Because I really liked Guardians. I just think that having kind of another lackluster villains and ego kind of soured over time.
Have you seen the movie since we last talked?
Yes, I have. Yeah, so that sort of. I still really like Guardians too. I just think just the overall, like, they made everything bigger, but not something's not in the best ways bigger. Like, and it is something I actually have an issue with Ragnarok as well. When we talk about that.
Okay, let's. Do you want to get into it? Are there any other films that we've?
Did you see Wonder Woman?
I did.
Okay, you were really like, oh, I did.
I did. I went to see it. It was another late film where I kind of dozed off in the middle of it, and I felt kind of bad about that.
Dude, it's good to know that like you're gonna be the hated guy. Hate Rogue One. Fall asleep during Wonder Woman.
I hate females. No, I don't hate females. I was a joke.
Oh my god! Really, we just had a really nice moment.
I hope that translated well.
On the internet, I'm sure nothing can go wrong.
No.
But yeah.
Hashtag fire Michael.
Yeah. Yeah. From what? But yeah, Wonder Woman was freaking awesome.
I liked the parts that I was conscious for. Yeah. I'll definitely rewatch it before I watch Justice League.
Yeah, I love so much. Did you ever watch Batman v Superman?
Nope. Should I?
Yeah, I think.
I didn't hate Man of Steel. I'll be honest.
The more and more I watch Man of Steel, the more and more I like it. You know, so I'm pretty cautiously optimistic for Justice League. That'll be interesting.
I still need to watch Blade Runner.
Oh, 2049?
2049. I'm halfway through the what is it, the final cut right now?
Oh, God.
I've seen it before.
Oh, okay.
I'm just rewatching.
Final cut's good.
Yeah.
Really, you just need to watch the original cut and the final cut.
I've never seen the narrated version before.
Oh, it's like the masochistic one. It's just like we talked about this in the last one. I think
Harrison Ford.
Yeah. I think we talked about the last one.
Did we?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
It was years ago. It was so long
years ago.
You know, we have a brand new legion of viewers that were probably just born in the time that the last video came out and this one. So, yeah, Thor. Let's
Thor Ragnarok. Thor 3.
The original first one was in 2011.
It was 2011. It came out. It was Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Thor. It was a third cinematic universe film. Well, I'm not counting that. Okay, fine. Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2.
Well, I mean, Hulk is in this movie. We gotta take that into account.
Okay, that's fair. They've mentioned Harlem before, so it's canon still.
Yeah, so that, and then
2013 was The Dark World.
Thor: The Dark World, which might be my least favorite MCU movie.
I think it's definitely mine. Other than The Incredible Hulk, which I.
Oh, you see, I don't like Iron Man 2. I'm not an Iron Man 2 guy. Iron Man 2 was just like, man, we really need to make some money before Avengers, so...
Well, the first Iron Man movie, it's like the bad guy's the evil Iron Man. It's like the same suit, basically, bigger, scarier. And then Iron Man 2...
That might be my biggest Marvel pet peeve.
What, that in the first film?
The villain just being like an evil version of the other guy. Like, the sort of mirrored... the mirrored type person.
You've seen the Black Panther trailer, right?
Yeah.
Should we talk about that?
Oh, dude, the Black Panther trailer is awesome, except for that Michael B. Jordan is literally the same thing.
He's the Purple Panther?
No, Chadwick Boseman's still the Purple Panther. The villain is like the Golden Jaguar.
I watched it. It played last night with Thor. Does Michael B. Jordan not wear the full-on Black Panther costume in the...
I don't know a ton about it. I've only read a couple Black Panther comics.
No. I mean, in the trailer. I haven't read.
Oh, in the trailer, like,
Black Panther either.
If you saw like his body, he had like all like.
I could have sworn there was a scene where it was Black Panther on Black Panther, like they were.
Yeah, I think that was like. I think the Golden Jaguar just looks a lot like it, and.
Golden Jaguar makes me think of
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Like, I just want them to be fighting in New York City, and they just go by Central Park, and then a tree just hugs them. Temple Guard, half pendant of life.
You have to form the statue.
Oh my god. The most impossible one was Medusa's.
That gave me anxiety as like a 4-year-old kid.
Yeah,
like,
Medusa, that seemed to be the hardest one.
And then randomly this putty from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers just comes out and drags you into the shadows. The problem with Iron Man 2 was that it was an even crappier version of the evil version of Iron Man.
Yeah,
Whiplash
versus Ironmonger.
Yeah.
Like, Ironmonger was awesome. Just because, was it Jeff Bridges? He's awesome.
It was great.
He almost saved Tron Legacy.
I like Tron Legacy. It just, not a lot happened. I wish there'd be a third one. Jared Leto, make it happen.
Jared Leto is pretty good in Blade Runner. Which is weird because, I'm interested to see what you think of Suicide Squad. That's on
HBO now, I think. So that and Batman Superman.
It's a piece of work. Without I don't want to sway or anything. I love the team in Suicide Squad. I like their camaraderie. Hate everything else in the movie.
No.
I hate the plot.
That's disheartening.
I hate the villain.
Does Will Smith have witty Will Smith moments?
Oh, this is quality Will Smith.
Ooh.
I don't want to say this is Independence Day Will Smith, but this is very better than Wild Wild
Welcome
West.
to Gotham.
Welcome to Gotham. I think he's great as Deadshot. Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. She's freaking awesome. I said Harley Quinn because she just is Harley Quinn now.
I'll make a note to watch that and remain fully conscious for it.
Oh man, good luck.
I mean, if I slept through Wonder Woman,
the first hour of the movie is really weird. It's hey, we could, and I really don't. I hate bashing DC movies because actually I like a lot of the stuff they do in them. But,
I'm super, 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 super excited. In fact, the only DC movie I think I've been excited for is Shazam, which we now know is Shazam is going to be Zachary Levi.
Is it Levi?
I think it's Levy. Yeah, I think Levi's copyrighted. He can't use that. And actually,
it's Marvel knew that he was going to play Shazam because, spoiler alert, Levi gets toasted in a minute. It's have fun doing
He's
DC
not Volstagg.
movies.
Is he Fandral?
Yeah, he's Fandral.
Yeah. The Warriors 3 become the Warriors none so fast.
Yeah.
But at least the third guy.
When we talk about issues, I got a big problem with not having Lady Sif in the movie.
Well, you know why she wasn't in it, right?
Yeah, she's kind of scheduling stuff, I heard.
Yep. They could have at least mentioned her, I think. Which they didn't, I'm pretty sure. Was she...
She was literally... There was a person playing Lady Sif in the play.
The play?
Yeah. One of the best things I think I've ever seen in my life.
That was amazing. Matt Damon.
Oh, God.
So overall, how did you like Thor Ragnarok?
Thor Ragnarok. I think definitely the best of the Thor films. A super redeeming movie if you like really colorful Thor. I think
here's what I think. Okay, if you're a fan of the first two Thor films a whole lot, if you really hold them close to you, you might not like this movie because it twists.
I don't think you can watch this as a trilogy.
No,
it's just so out of left field. This one.
And it was kind of jarring in the beginning. The first scene you get Thor in whatever realm Surtur is part of. He's locked up with the skeleton. Which did you see? Okay, this is a hot take. Okay, I don't know.
Hot takes.
Yeah, I got a hot take here. Hot take. It's a hot take. You saw the Comic-Con short film last year with Thor, right? And his
oh my gosh,
his
buddy,
roommate, his buddy,
yeah.
Was that his buddy? His buddy. What if they both ventured down there?
Oh my god, that's terrible.
No, that's what I was thinking. Because when he shows back up on when he goes back to Asgard and he meets Scourge, awesome character. He has no idea. He's like, "Where's Heimdall?" And it seems like Heimdall's been gone, a fugitive for a while. So I feel like he spent his time on Earth with his roommate, and then he's like, "Oh, you want to go on this adventure with me down to this hell dimension?" And then they go down there, and the guy immediately dies because he can't take the heat. That's my theory. That's my theory. I'm gonna hope that's my sad theory.
I'm gonna hope it's not that. I do really like the intro. Also, kudos to them. I have a new slightly growing pet peeve is when they put awesome songs in the trailer and then not use them in the movie. We got Immigrant Song twice.
We got it twice.
And the first time it happened, I thought, oh man, that's just the perfect time to use that song. And then they played it again at the end. I literally screamed in my seat.
I loved it.
When I heard it come back in, I was like...
Have you seen What We Do in the Shadows?
Yes.
This movie, it felt like a Marvel film, but there are also moments where that's the only thing I could think about. The scene where Thor and Loki go down to New York and they meet those girls that like take the selfie with Thor. That whole scene made me think of What We Do in the Shadows. And then the entire... I feel like when they decided to include Doctor Strange, like Taika... Is that his name?
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
I practiced for this. I was like...
No,
then you asked me to talk about all these these other movies I had no idea about. Taika Waititi.
Because I heard that they were going to dismantle the Doctor Strange set, and he was like, no, can I use it for this movie? I feel like he watched a rough cut of Doctor Strange, and he immediately started to form a bit in his head about a magician, and he was like, no, wait, we can include this in the film. I'd like to think that the whole inclusion of Doctor Strange was just him wanting to like drag a joke on. Like the whole teleporting thing. Yeah. Doctor Strange would teleport from room to room, and it eventually made Thor dizzy.
Yeah,
but that whole scene made me think of What We Do in the Shadows.
A little bit, yeah. The confined and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I liked that scene. I liked Loki's reaction to like the sorcery versus like the mischief magic that he sort of has.
My girlfriend freaked out during that scene because it had Benedict Cumberbatch and Tom Hiddleston in it.
Yeah, dude. Tumblr probably just exploded.
Oh yeah.
Tumblr just exploded. Oh man. But yeah, but Doctor Strange wasn't really in it. Yeah.
He didn't overstay his welcome.
Oh yeah.
I was.
I mean, and
with that.
You can't have him in the movie. Like he's so powerful. He's like if Scarlet Witch ever gets her crap together, it's just like, oh well. We got Scarlet Witch in Doctor Strange.
In the Doctor Strange film, he's kind of dickish, so he's kind of like he's gonna go do his own thing. He doesn't really care about anybody else, at least not right now. Until Thanos comes to Earth looking for the Infinity Stones, the two that are there. He's gonna be like, whatever. This Loki guy, I don't like him. Keep him out of my realm. And Odin's in Norway. And then he went and did his own thing. He doesn't have time to worry about battle planets.
All right, let's go character by character.
Okay.
So we have some sort of organization to what we do instead of just this.
Okay. Well, we covered Doctor Strange.
Yeah, we covered Doctor Strange. We actually talked more about Doctor Strange than him even being in the movie. Yeah. One more thing on Doctor Strange, it was nice to see him float. It was nice to see him sort of float made him feel like, dude, this is like the man.
And the yellow gloves?
No, let's Thor, Chris Hemsworth. Hair change, good or bad?
Hair, well, his look completely changed. Are we gonna flash forward to the spoilers towards the end?
Oh yeah, we're gonna spoil everything. I don't care.
I mean, his hair, he loses an eye. He's like Odin 2.0. You know what it made me think of?
Did you like that?
I liked it. It's like it's the version that succeeds. It's the successful version of. Did you see Mortal Kombat Annihilation? You've seen it?
I've seen the first Mortal Kombat.
Oh, you never saw it? Okay, Raiden.
Yeah.
God of Thunder, white robes, hat, long hair. In Mortal Kombat Annihilation, at one point, halfway through the movie, he randomly has a buzz cut and starts wearing leather clothes, and everyone's just like, "Oh, Raiden, what's going on?" And he's like, "New look." I don't know what they were trying to do there. It was the 90s. But this is like the successful version of that. Like what James Remar failed to do in that film. I feel like
Mortal Kombat Annihilation failed in a lot of different things from what I've heard.
It's not good. It's not good at all. But it's like so bad that it's good. It's one of those films.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I loved Thor's new look. But I'm confused because they completely changed the character. Is he only going to be around for these next two films? Is he going to take like a smaller role?
That's one of my hypothetical questions I have for when we're done reviewing and we don't know what else to talk about. I have some hypothetical questions.
Oh, okay. But I love the Thor and the fact that he's so much... Obviously, he has a better sense of humor in this film.
Chris Hemsworth is so funny.
He's so funny.
Can't believe it took us, 2 Avengers films. I mean, he does have moments in the Avengers films, but it took 2 serious Thor movies.
In my head, I know there's going to be hardcore, or there's most likely going to be hardcore fans that are like, he was too funny in this. There's too many jokes. In fact, I heard somebody say that today when I was talking to them about Thor Ragnarok. Is they said it was too funny. I think he's earned that though because he's when we were first introduced to him in the first film, he's not necessarily serious, but he doesn't really understand humor outside of his realm.
Yeah, like Drax.
I feel like he's grown accustomed to Earth, so he knows our humor more. So I feel like that would be a justification in a way.
I think Thor Ragnarok does not have too many jokes. I think 97% of all the jokes hit. There's a couple that is really... There's one I really hate.
I feel like more jokes hit in this than in Guardians 2. Is that fair to say?
A higher percentage of jokes hit here. Guardians had a quip every 2 seconds. But to reverse that, Guardians had more jokes and more emotion. I feel like there were moments in Thor Ragnarok where there should have been like a really powerful moment,
and it was just
like
straight
chuck. Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's fair.
Like the only moment
I could agree with that.
The only moment for me that really didn't have jokes, that was just serious, is when Odin was dying, and that little bit afterwards where Thor was like, "Loki, it is all your fault." I think that moment, and then the other moment where they're in the elevator going up, right before they go into another comedic part with the, get help, which is hilarious. But I think those were like the two really times where there was very few like quips, just this is sort of the serious stuff. But that being said, I'm not knocking the jokes. I think the jokes are really, really funny. I didn't. There's like two missed things that I caught instantly. One, all right, this could be a little bit of the language part. I don't like devil's anus.
No.
Maybe just some. I don't know. Some people laughed in the theater, but that joke kind of fell a little flat. And then they kept using it over and over.
Okay, that's fair.
If they should have said they should have said some really funny space name, and then say, what does it mean? It's like devil's anus. I think that would have hit better.
Okay, so
but I'm not
built on the joke a little more.
Yeah, because they just kept saying, "Oh, all right, we're going through the devil's anus now."
Okay, I agree with that.
And this is not a funny joke and this is a hilariously funny part, but they missed something important.
Okay.
The whole movie, once Banner comes back from changing from the Hulk, Valkyrie always wants to say, "Well, what is he here for? What is he here for?" And then he jumps out of the plane and lands on the Bifrost. One of the biggest laughs in the whole thing. And then he changes into the Hulk. But we don't really get that payoff shot of Valkyrie seeing him become Hulk.
There's a look where she makes a face where she's like, "Oh, okay," but it's not
really?
like the
okay. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed it.
It's like from what I can remember, it's like the Obama not the meme where he's doing the frown bad. In my head, that's what I remember.
Okay, then maybe I must have missed it then, because I feel like there should have been a bigger payoff.
But no, it was obvious. It was like a split second, her reaction shot. You're right. There could have been they could have drawn out that emotion a little bit more.
Isn't it an amazing laugh though when he face plants? Oh, absolutely.
There's 3 points in the film where I laughed so hard. That was probably the last one. But before that, it was the ghost thing, piss off ghost.
Oh yeah.
With Korg, who was great. And then the whole the Black Widow's lullaby, quote unquote.
Oh my god!
I laughed
during the fight,
and I saw it coming too. Yeah. But
lay low, big guy. Sun's getting pretty low. I thought it was funny in the battle. But that was a joke that kept getting a little funnier. When he was just when Banner was just he's just I'm okay.
The sun's going down.
The sun is going down. The sun is going. He's like, I'm fine.
I love that. I didn't think this film was going to have so many callbacks to other films.
One thing I wrote down is I think it does a great job at fixing some continuity. For instance, when Hela walks into the treasure room, it's oh, look at that, fake,
and pushes the Infinity Gauntlet
fake.
down. Oh yeah.
Stuff like that was really cool.
So yeah, I loved Thor. If you wanted to move on to the next character.
Chris Hemsworth is great. I liked how nothing showed his eye being punctured or whatever during the battle in any of the trailers. That was pretty fun.
Even in the did you watch the Infinity War League trailer?
I have never watched pirated trailers. Of course I saw it.
Okay. Yeah, he has both eyes in that. And the art that they released, there was the 3-piece art. I looked at it again today. He's purposely facing from his left side, so you can't see his right eye.
They're so smart with that sort of stuff. I'm an idiot, so it's just just put it there. Yeah. So
Loki. How about Loki? Tom Hiddleston.
Sorry, one more thing.
Okay. Sorry, I don't mean to rush.
How do you feel about just him having thunder powers without needing Mjolnir?
From a character development standpoint,
this is the hypothetical I was going to say later, but it's hypothetical I was going to say later. But do you think Mjolnir's going to come back?
What if he gets a different weapon? In the comics, he had Jarnbjorn, the axe before he gets the hand, or Jarnbjorn. It's because it's got J's.
Isn't it that singer?
Jarnbjorn.
Bjorn?
Yeah, from Iceland.
Yeah. I'm gonna take your word for it because I started reading. You told me to read the Jason Aaron Thor book. Uh-huh. Yeah, I just started. I have the first issue. I read it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I think when it shows him younger, he has the axe.
My axe. Yeah.
Or he could get Stormbreaker, which is like another hammer or like a sledgehammer in the book. Beta Ray Bill actually has that hammer in the comics. Who's on the side of?
I did see that.
The Grandmaster's Coliseum. And apparently Man-Thing is up there too. I didn't notice that.
I didn't see that either. I saw Hulk and I saw Beta Ray Bill. Yeah, so with that.
From a development standpoint, it makes sense that he doesn't need the hammer anymore. But like the fan of Mjolnir in me wants him to have a weapon.
Let me tell you, not reading a ton of Thor, but like watching him in the first scene, like I like how they built it up. Like, oh, the first battle, he uses his hammer so goddamn much that when he gets it taken away, like I didn't think about that until later on. When I was like driving home, I was like, oh man, that's really smart that they did that. Like they had the first battle, they had him using the hammer all the time to beat people up and fly and do all that stuff, and then when he loses it, and then Korg makes that hilarious reference, like, oh, seems like it's like a loved one, like the hammer's like a loved one that you just lost. Like, yeah, I know. So good.
He might have been the best character, Korg.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for Thor for right now. Obviously, we'll talk about it more later. Loki. You said you wanted to talk about Loki.
Yeah, Loki.
Tom Hiddleston, still great.
Still great
as Loki.
Were you okay with the whole like Thor's? He's pretty much accepted the fact that Loki's going to be untrustworthy.
I loved it. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because it has built up over so many movies. We got so many good Loki Thor payoffs in this movie. We had that moment. Mm-hmm. We had the moment where he finally was an illusion and he caught it. We finally got when Thor knew that Loki was going to betray him, and that's where he stunned him. There were so many good moments where it finally came together. And I think it's really fun that, Kenneth Branagh, Joss Whedon, Taika Waititi, all these directors that it came together in all the movies just to pay off in this. I thought that was some of the best moments in the movie, was just finally getting that payoff. It's like, you always want to give people that are seeing all these movies some, good stuff.
Right.
To be like, oh man, wasting my life watching these movies because I love them is finally paying off in the movie, not in my everyday life. But yeah, it's just that moment where it all comes together, and when he finally catches the object and stuff like that.
Do you think he took the Tesseract?
100%. That's literally one of my questions. I said, so he 100% took it, right? And I think that since he already knows Thanos, he clearly has it on him. I thought that's what the post-credit scene was going to be. They were going to talk. It's like, do you think they really want me to go back to Earth? And then, Thor's like, oh no, it'll be fine. He walks out, and then Loki opens up his... Oh, sorry, I'm pantomiming opening up my jacket and then looking at the bright green and the bright blue... cube, and it's just like perfect. But then they had
the post-credit scene was the giant ship.
Yeah, the giant ship,
which we can only assume is Thanos's.
Yeah.
If anybody's seen the illegally pirated Infinity War trailer, we know that somebody messes up Thor pretty bad and leaves him in space. We can only assume this is
okay.
I
don't want to speculate too bad with that because the trailer hasn't been shown yet. Doesn't that really ruin the movie though? If Thor got as many Asgardians.
Yeah, he saved the Asgardians only to have them decimated in space. I only hope that he and Loki
maybe
get them to safety.
Can teleport them or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But can he do that without the Bifrost?
Oh no, they can find a way.
I actually think that clips from Infinity War, because it looked different. You could tell it was filmed different.
Yeah. What else with Loki? Oh man, him getting triggered at the side of Hulk was so good. Tom Hiddleston is so charming yet vulnerable.
This film pulled so many great comedic moments from actors that I've never...
One of the biggest highlight things I wrote down is it feels like everyone was just trying to one-up each other, with whether it be with jokes or good acting or good emotion. I felt like everyone was on the top of their game, and they were constantly trying to push each other to make a better movie, and it just kept getting better and better and just made it a fantastic experience. I was never bored.
I almost feel like it would have a lot of the issues with it. You said the emotional moments were short.
If there was a little more emotional punch, if there was maybe 10 minutes more.
10 minutes more.
I think this movie would be whoa.
Because the director said that there was a really long cut and there was a really short cut, and I'm pretty sure the version that we got in the theater was like the middle. It was like the medium cut. I was talking today. I was like, this film is the longest Thor movie, but it feels like the shortest because it goes by so fast.
I think this is the shortest Marvel movie, just period. I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head, but I thought I read like a...
I thought I could have sworn that the other two Thor films were shorter than it.
I have no idea. But like, they're so different. You know, Jane Foster getting mentioned in a sentence again for the second time.
I was okay with that.
You're not a big Natalie Portman as Jane Foster?
No. Well, see, I feel like all the humor, like the humor in the Thor films, rested on the shoulders of Kat Dennings.
I don't mind Kat Dennings in some things.
I mean, I don't either.
But, oh man, she dropped the ball.
The whole give me your shoe thing, I hated until the cave. Do you remember that? Like where there's so many shoes? That was the storyline? Yeah. That was the best moment in Thor the Dark World to me. But in this film, the humor, it works so much better. It felt less forced.
Yeah, and I liked Loki going to Sakaar. Like, and he takes the Loki path of trying to, gain everyone's trust and stuff like that. I like going against each other with Valkyrie.
I love how the majority of this review so far has been me going off on tangents and then you reeling us back in.
Which is weird. I feel like there's definitely been other ones that we've...
By other ones, you mean the other two?
Yeah.
Okay.
Episode 1 and episode 0.
And this is the 2024 Christmas special.
Oh, yeah, 2024.
No, but yeah, I love Loki. I slowly liked him more and more every time he's appeared. Like, I did not like him in the first Thor movie. I thought he was, he was broody and whiny. And then in the Avengers, he was great. And he had the best, up until this point, I feel like he was one of the best moments of the Dark World.
Oh yeah, he was fantastic in this as well. He always knocks it out of the park. So let's move on. Let's talk about Hulk. Great usage of Hulk. There wasn't too much Hulk. How'd you feel about him being able to talk?
I mean, it makes sense. He's been, 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years, he said, of him. So, he sort of had the mind. He was sort of in his terrible twos, like for babies.
Yeah.
He was causing trouble and stuff like that. I think I really liked... maybe this is something that I like, that maybe not other people love. I don't mind Hulk and Black Widow stuff.
I never mind.
I think it's way less forced than Cap and Agent 13. I think it's way... Agent
13, is she supposed to be in Infinity War?
I mean, she made out with Captain America. She's gotta. Yeah, I think this is the coolest version of Hulk so far. It's the one that also looked the most like Mark Ruffalo, like the big head of it. I like the idea of like the battling between Banner and Hulk. Another thing I didn't like, one thing I didn't, is they built up like this mini plot in the middle of the movie that, hey, if I turn back into Hulk, I don't know if I'll be able to turn back into Banner. And we didn't really get a payoff for that.
Yeah, and he was still Hulk for as far as we know. I feel like we would have... There was like a moment when you can see Bruce Banner like looking down, watching the chaos on the Bifrost, and he's like, okay, I have to do this. I have to save them from this giant wolf thing, Hell Wolf. They could have dragged that out like a split second more, or there could have been like a motif, something to do with it. But
how Wagnerian of you.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. Better than Valkyries.
No, but I completely agree.
It was just like a really random thing they talked about halfway through, and it was like, oh, nice. This is gonna have a funny payoff where he's like doing what he needs to do.
Didn't Feige say that this was like the start of like an arc for Hulk? I feel like we're gonna. We have to see Banner again in the Infinity War.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just really weird that they talk about it and they didn't really like once they start something, usually they come up with a good through line. But yeah, so much of the Hulk things were good. A lot of the Hulk humor was funny. A lot of the Hulk humor, just him was just like, don't kick things. It's like. Yeah, I thought the fight scene between Hulk and Thor was really fun. It had a ton of energy. It wasn't the Avengers fight in the helicarrier. It was cool that it was like the next level of that. And I liked how Hulk had two very different personalities. And Thor was kind of like, oh, I don't want to see Banner. And then when Banner was there, he's like, I don't want to see Hulk. Yeah, but I obviously I always want to see more Mark Ruffalo because he's such a fantastic actor.
Mm-hmm. He wasn't actually in the film a lot.
No.
But I feel like when they used him, it was super effective.
Absolutely. They used him as like a Tony Stark in Homecoming. Yeah. Just the right amount to not, because they had so many other characters to like.
Valkyrie.
Oh, what a segue. Dude. Third episode in, just crushing the game right now.
Her introduction that made me love
awesome.
her. I immediately was like, okay, I love
this is it. Like, when she came out with the white armor at the end, whoop!
Apparently, she's a defender in the comic books. I didn't know that, or she was at one point anyway, along with Doctor Strange and the Hulk.
And I have an idea which we'll talk about later on. But,
is this more speculation?
Oh yeah. This is like good speculation. So I'm pretty sure she's confirmed for Infinity War. She should be.
Right.
I mean, they're just gonna get everyone. So
they have to show her and Heimdall and all the other Asgardians get disintegrated, right?
Oh my god, no!
It's
They're
like
gonna take away Sif and her.
That's like an Aliens to Alien 3 moment.
Oh,
like you know what I'm
vomit.
talking about,
yeah,
though, right?
100%.
But
yeah, I think she was such a powerful character and yet still such a vulnerable character, and sort of Loki being the guy, to cause the change in her, like especially seeing all the the flashback and stuff. Like that moment where the Valkyries were charging Hela, that could have been like a painting in the Louvre. It was like such a beautiful,
the slow motion.
Yeah, it's either gonna be a painting of in the Louvre or my cover photo on Facebook. It's just beautiful because like those are like the same things nowadays. But yeah, I think her dialogue was great. I liked her camaraderie with Hulk. I liked her sort of questioning with Thor. She was a badass. She was fun. She was, she was everything. I hate when people say this, and I hate when I say it, but it's like she was kind of like in a world where everyone in the Marvel universe kind of wants to be Han Solo. She was kind of very Han Solo-ish.
I think she is the Han Solo of.
But that's so hard to say when Star-Lord is in the.
But I wouldn't say he's Han Solo though. I don't get everybody.
There's like 7
Chris
people
Pratt
who could be the Han Solo in Marvel universe. But I know I just really liked Tessa Thompson is a beast actress.
I haven't seen Westworld yet.
I have not seen Westworld either, but she is awesome in Creed. She's
I haven't seen Creed yet.
No, man, you should see Creed. It's good.
I should.
I mean, I don't even really like sports movies, but like I really like Creed. Which let's go to Hela.
Hela, the villain.
Yes, the villain of it.
Kate Blanchett.
She's awesome. She's really
great.
cool. She's super menacing.
The whole shift from hair to
oh my god, hair to the
where
crown.
she'd wipe her hands through her hair and the antler spikes would pop up.
I liked so much stuff. When she was on screen, she was like, yes. When she's like, Neil, it's like, yes. It's like very Game of Thrones-ish. And I was like, yes. But then they kind of like took a long time. Like she was like this unstoppable bad mother. And then she became kind of like exposition bot. Like, oh, this is my story. This is why you haven't heard of me. Because they've hidden all this stuff. And then she sort of came back in the end. She was pretty much gone for the second act.
Well, Grandmaster, we can talk about him. I want to talk about him. I
Yeah,
want to talk about Heimdall.
Let's talk about both, yeah. Let's talk about Hela and Grandmaster.
Okay, Grandmaster, who, let's face it was Space Jeff Goldblum. He was playing himself.
I know,
it was still amazing.
and that's all I want. That's all I want.
Nobody asked for anything else.
Yeah, like
he was great. I loved all of his stuff. He says time moves differently on Sakaar, so maybe it wasn't really taking that long, and just from our point of view. Do you think that if the film was slightly more serious, that Hela would have been better, or do you think that would have just made her like the cookie cutter, same as everybody else?
I'm still trying to find out, because I am going to go see the movie again. I think it's worth seeing once. I think it's worth seeing twice. I think seeing Hela, I need to discover if she is a badass character or Kate Blanchett is just carrying it. It's because Kate Blanchett is such like a talented actress. She's so multifaceted. Every scene she's in, she steals, right? Like I can't think of like many scenes where she's in it that someone's like overshadows her.
No, she's the shining light in the scenes she's in.
Oh yeah, and I do think she is a great villain. I think she was just when we were on Sakaar, there was very little like looming. Thor sometimes were like, yeah, we have to stop Hela. And then they would just go off and say a bunch of quips. And like I wanted like big overarching.
Did you want like a moment of him like staring out the window at the junk and he's like thinking back at Asgard and like he's all sad?
You know what about a cool shot? This is in episode 3 where Anakin.
Okay, this is off to a great start.
Where Anakin and Padme are staring out the windows and they're not saying anything, and like Anakin's looking out and there's just destruction and Padme's looking out. In like the cityscape, I wish there was like that kind of moment where like Thor was talking with someone just looking out the window and just thinking about Asgard, and then like Hela's looking outside of actual Asgard and it's all burning, and like she does like a little smirk just to show that like, hey, she's still here, she's still in the background, still that's what we need to focus on. Because I liked a lot of the Sakaar stuff, but if having less Sakaar stuff meant we had more Hela, I think I'd be even more invested in Hela, which I already was.
Maybe they cut that out. Maybe in the 3-hour director's cut.
Oh, I would watch a 3 hours director's cut. I would watch
the hella heavy version.
Oh
That's
my
what they
god,
should
the
call
hella heavy version. It's like the box cover is like 1 ton.
Well, first off, very effective use of comparing to Episode 3 of Star Wars.
That's a great shot in that movie. I don't care what anyone says. Go and watch that shot again. That shot is phenomenal.
But also, I'm going to chalk that up to pacing based off of them editing something out. I'm never going to assume that the director made like a crappy choice. I'm going to assume that the editor...
Oh, no, because this is a great movie. Like, all of my stuff are just like nitpicky and just... This movie's a fantastic movie, and I want all the movies to be fantastic. This is just some idiot on the internet who wants to, say stuff, So.
We don't want to, like, completely gush over this film and not...
leave
some negative stuff.
I think that's unfair if we did that.
Right.
Just because, just like how I'll bash DC things, I will tell them 100% when they do stuff right. So I do think, Hela's freaking awesome. The costuming for her is just fantastic.
My favorite villain costume.
Oh, yeah. It's very different. Very weird that my girlfriend and I were talking about it. We're just like, Loki's costume was a little more, like, normal.
Yeah, it was tamer.
And I think it's because the black and green was all moved over to Hela compared to, Loki. The previous ones have had a lot of black, green, and gold, where sort of Hela had to, like, take that. And I think they maybe did a stylistic decision because they didn't want to. It's just like, these are the bad guys. They're wearing green and black. Like, do you have anything else to say about Hela? Spoiler, is she dead?
There's that theory that she's going to be the driving, like how death to Thanos is like who he's aiming towards pleasing.
There's no way she's dead.
We see Asgard.
If I had Kate Blanchett, she's not dying in one movie. Yeah, there's no way. She has to stay. And I think she's so great. It just needs to happen. And Marvel's a really smart company. They'll know. And, we're just going to need more baddies anyway, when Infinity War happens.
Let's talk about Scourge and Heimdall.
Okay, Scourge and Heimdall.
Scourge, I feel like they did a good job of completing a character's arc. That was my stomach. I did not fart. I'll have to...
Yes, it's on the internet.
Yeah. Like, there's obviously like a one and done character. He's probably not going to be in future.
Did you want Scourge to say for Rohan when he was blasting everyone with his machine guns at the end?
I actually forgot that Carl Urban was in.
Like, literally, imagine if it was just like they played like the March of the Rohirrim song. Yeah, dude, when they're just charging. Oh my gosh, that'd be fantastic.
I forgot he was in Lord of the Rings.
Because you hate Lord of the Rings too, apparently.
Because I totally hate Lord of the Rings so much.
But yeah, Carl Urban, he did...
I don't really hate Lord of the Rings. Carl Urban is great.
Oh yeah, he's great. He played the executioner with such a nice subtlety. Even his humor was really good, especially at the beginning with the 2 Asgardian women. Him running down the Bifrost to try to catch up with Thor, that was great. Everyone in this movie just, like, they all fit into what they needed to do, regardless of what pet peeves I have. He's not going to, change the way we look at superhero films, but he was just a well-placed character. He reminds me so much of Kraglund in a way.
Okay.
Where he plays such a part. He's there. He's always there, and then he has these, like, his moment to shine. I think that is cool that they allow even the most minor characters to do it now that, we're, 17, 18 films in? God, I can't... Being excited about something the 18th time... And I'm still just, like, giddy like a schoolgirl. Heimdall, they are doing the best they can to not underuse Idris Elba.
Which is totally wise of them to do.
Absolutely. Idris Elba's fantastic. If they had to redo the Marvel Cinematic Universe and restart everything, would Idris Elba play Black Panther? Like, crap, he's already Heimdall. If I had to choose somebody other than Chadwick Boseman to be Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman now that we've seen him in Civil War, and once Black Panther comes out, he's going to be Black Panther.
Yeah.
But...
I think Idris Elba's a little too old to play Black Panther if they're going to try and milk him for all that can be.
That's fair, but it's just like, oh my god, Idris Elba is such a... Talk about someone who's always, like...
They stuck him in Age of Ultron.
Because they're just like, wow, Idris Elba is a goddamn beast of an actor. Like, he needs to be in everything possible. I hope he has a huge part in Infinity War.
He doesn't die.
Don't stop.
It's the first 5 minutes. It's the first scene.
They have like a Star Wars intro, then pew pew. Doom 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 doom. It goes back into Immigrant Song. Definitely, Idris Elba is so good. I think he was the perfect guy to hide everyone. I like that they sort of built up that, oh man, he's missing.
What did you think of the whole, he gave the give me sight beyond sight? I thought of Thundercats when he allowed Thor to see.
I didn't even think about that, and as soon as you said, oh my god, I can't see that movie again. I'll be like, that's exactly what I'm going to think of. When he gave
Thor the power to see.
I don't mind that. I don't know if that's happened in the comic books, but
I don't either.
That's something. If a guy can see everything, it makes sense that he can, do that. It's fine. It's not something that's going to break the laws of, It's not like
it's not out of the film. That wasn't a Johnny Depp turns out to be.
It's not like a Doctor Strange like turning back time like Cher. God, yes, you're trying so hard not to laugh at that.
Wow. That should have played during the end credits of Doctor Strange. If I could turn back time.
But it's just like Doctor Strange on the boat with the sailors. So we talked about them. We talk about.
I mean, I feel like we should wrap up soon.
Okay, we should wrap up. So I have a couple of hypotheticals.
Okay, throw out those hypotheticals, man.
So,
I'm waiting on those.
We're talking about the hammer first being broken.
Right.
And Odin said it was sort of a focusing thing. Do you think the next Thor is going to get the hammer rebuilt?
Okay.
Who is going to be the next Thor? Because I know who I want to be the next Thor.
What if Doctor Strange took the time turner, the Eye of Agamotto to it, and he did the whole where he twists it back to when it was holy?
I could 100% see that. Would I want that? I wouldn't want that as much as seeing like a new Thor show up and the hammer's like, someone new was worthy, and it's like forcing itself back together. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Is Valkyrie who you're?
I think Valkyrie. If Valkyrie is really good in Infinity War, I think she has a very good chance. She could be, because it's not going to be Jane Foster. Natalie Portman's not going to come back. As much as I want Lady Sif to be the next Thor, she wasn't in the movie. Valkyrie just like took her spot, which is sad because I think Jamie Alexander. I think she is super talented. I think she is beautiful. She is beautiful.
She is.
And she's cut. She's like ripped. So it's like she 100% could play that character. I wouldn't even be against like her keeping her black hair, her dark hair, and still being Thor. It's like, it's fine. But yeah, I think Valkyrie would be a perfect Thor to, when Chris Hemsworth's contract is up and you're like, we've hit the time, does he want to stop playing Thor? I mean, if he sees that paycheck, he might not want to stop playing Thor. But yeah, I definitely think that I would like it if Mjolnir would be rebuilt when what do you think about that? And how would you feel about Valkyrie
then rebuilding Mjolnir? I want that to happen. I hope that's a plot point in Infinity War. I hope that they rebuild it for Thor to hold, and then Thor dies, and then somebody else has to pick it up.
And then I had
Valkyrie.
Yeah,
perhaps.
This is all speculation,
speculation.
Don't take this for some sort of fact.
We know nothing.
I mean, I know nothing about anything. So, here's my other, not really hypothetical, but we'll talk about this is the ending. So, this is the spoiler of all spoilers. Do you feel they copped out with the ending? Using Ragnarok to destroy Hela in Asgard, to take this sort of apocalyptic event and kind of make it into a kind of a joke.
I don't think that, just because they used Ragnarok in a way that wasn't expected.
Yes,
I expected Ragnarok to be Hela showing up, destroying Asgard, and then Thor ends up on Sakaar in Contest of Champions.
Okay, that's fair.
They twisted it in the plot in a way that I wasn't expecting.
You see, I don't think it was a bad thing, because I don't think Asgard deserved like a grandiose destruction.
Well, Asgard is not a place; it is a people, Rich.
Yeah, no, but like the place. I'm just gonna talk about the place first.
Okay.
Before we get into that stuff.
All right, fine.
But yeah, it's just like after Thor 1 and 2, it's like, yeah, we're kind of invested in Asgard, but if Asgard blew up, it's like not to rag on Princess Leia because she's the best.
Yeah.
But talk about someone who just like kind of didn't really care that Alderaan blew up. Like, that's why I feel like people in the movie theater would be like, oh, Asgard's gone.
I mean, there was that moment.
At least Thor's okay.
There was that moment when they were on the ship where everybody was kind of sad. Like, that was one of the emotional beats.
True,
it was very light.
But like, after seeing Thor 1 and Thor 2, knowing they're going to blow up Asgard, were you really just like...
I think that my reaction completely rests on what happens in Infinity War. If they make it to Earth, I really hope they make it to Earth. But we saw, or didn't see, the teaser.
We cannot confirm or deny. on the internet. But yeah, I just think that I like the way they did it, because if they tried to do it seriously, I think it'd be like, well, this kind of really isn't deserved. It's just like, oh man, we've been at this place a lot, so we should care, but nothing really amazing has happened here.
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, in the comic books, they build a new Asgard over Oklahoma.
Okay.
Always do that. I don't know.
Oh my.
What if Doctor Strange took his time turner to Asgard?
See, that's why we can't have Doctor Strange in every single thing. He's just so powerful. He's just so powerful. I don't even know how they're...
He could give Bucky his arm back. He could give Thor his eye back.
Tony his parents back. Like... Dude, he's gonna jump into
Justice League. He could keep Civil War from happening.
He's gonna jump into Justice League and save Bruce Wayne's parents.
Oh, that's taking it too far.
Like, that's how powerful Doctor Strange is. But yeah, that's just something to think about. Just how, like, and I want to know what other people think of. Do you think that, like, oh man, they were building up this, like, from like even the first couple sentences, like the end of the world, and then it kind of becomes kind of an afterthought. Also, not a big fan of the zombies.
The undead army?
Yeah.
And what about the dog, the devil dog?
Dog is awesome.
Dog is great.
I don't like the generic, oh man, we did the putties. Like the putties. Yeah. Like, wow, they're really strong putties.
The White Walker things.
They're the Zed putties that you have to punch them in the Z to kill them.
The ones that had the button, I forgot about those.
Yeah, they're like, oh my gosh, they're like, stop them. And then they just accidentally hit one in the Z, and they're just like, yep, got him, coach.
I know this is towards the end, and I feel bad we didn't talk about this more, since I literally have to wrap up, like, right now. But
oh my gosh.
The soundtrack. I like the electronic music.
Me too.
Well, how about we save talking about that soundtrack for the next episode?
Oh, next episode. Oh, God. See you in 3 months, everybody.
Yeah.
Have a great night. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, follow us. He has to leave.
If I could turn back time, we would talk about it.
Oh, my gosh. I've been Hulk for 2 years. Bye, everyone.